If I say to you cardiovascular disease, diabetes, joint damage, depression, high blood pressure, you probably think I was talking about an adult or maybe even an older adult like I am, right? I'm not. I'm talking about children. These are diseases that children get from something called childhood obesity. Combating childhood obesity is really important because they are our future. We want them to grow up to be healthy and happy adults. I'm sure that all of you have known a child or an adolescent who has suffered through childhood obesity at one point or another. I personally know two little boys, 4 and 6 years old, who are brothers. The little 4-year-old boy, they're extremely overweight. The little 4-year-old boy told his preschool teacher that he hated himself and would ask why. He said, because I'm fat and I'm ugly. Now, this is so sad that a 4-year-old would have this type of psychological damage done to them because just from being overweight. The Center for Disease Control has said that in the last 30 years that obesity in children has doubled, and in adolescents it has quadrupled. That's quite alarming. Today I'd like to give you some information about the physical and mental damage that is done, why some children suffer from this, how parents can choose the right food, and encourage exercise to combat this epidemic. First, I'd like to discuss the dangers that children face from obesity. Here is a chart of the illnesses I just mentioned. You have cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure. Their hearts have to carry that extra weight and it's hard on them. Joint damage. As children grow, their growth plates are forming and they can be damaged and have lifelong problems from this. Type 2 diabetes used to be called adult onset diabetes because you didn't get it until you were 40, 50 years old. And now, at an alarming rate, children are being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And depression, just as I told you about the little 4-year-old boy, he's already depressed. This causes psychological damage for these children. And sometimes it can go the other way. Adolescent girls sometimes will turn to anorexia or bulimia, which is very dangerous also. I'd like to now tell you why some children are suffering. In Sharon Dalton's book about childhood obesity, she said parents influence their children's eating. They're going to eat what their children eat. Parents are busy working. Some of them don't have time to cook a well-balanced meal. So they bring in fast food, things that are fast, and this is not conducive to healthy eating. Another reason for this is lack of exercise. It's a dirty word to some children. They sit in front of the TV, they play video games, they watch television instead of going outside and playing. Hilda Birch is a psychiatrist, and she is known as the mother of what we know about eating disorders. She wrote this quote, "Children became obese while living in a family that wittingly or unwittingly encouraged overeating and inactivity." Now, she wrote this quote in 1953 when I was just a baby. What would she think about the statistics of today being what they are? I would like to now show you how having the right foods can make a difference. When children get home from school, they're always hungry. Now we have here French fries, potato chips, which is okay once in a while, but not an everyday thing. It'd be better to present the children with some carrots. Here is celery with peanut butter in it, a baked potato. My grandchildren love baked potatoes. Okay, and now instead of cookies and cakes, which I myself love to eat, but it doesn't need to be an everyday thing. It should be a treat. This is what should await the children when they come home from school. This luscious bowl of fruit. There's apples, bananas, grapes. I don't know a child who does not love grapes. And now the drink. Soda. All kids want soda. But how much better if they have a glass of milk, some juice in limited amounts, but most importantly, what they should have is water. Okay, now that we have the children eating right, let's talk exercise. In Carol Seeger's book on the subject, she says that uh, parents could do things with their children like ride bikes, hike, uh, or enroll your child in something that they like to do, dance, gymnastics, any sport that they like. We got to get them moving. Our First Lady, Michelle Obama, has a campaign called Let's Move, where it emphasizes healthy eating and exercise. And she has brought obesity to the attention of the public, which is a good thing. So now that I've told you about the dangers that children face, how you can help by providing good, healthy food for them and exercise, I thank you for listening to me, and I hope that you take this information and instill it in your children or your future children, and maybe impart this information to somebody who needs it in the future. Thank you.